Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Vampyr. Today,
Fear and disgust on every street.
we're going to continue the main story quest, so we've got to talk to all the nurses. It's telling me to find Pippa Hawkins first, but I think it's probably just because she's closest. There she is. Outside, of course. That's her there, right? Yes.
This dead flesh needs it.
Oh, please spare me.
That's weird. I've never seen a loading screen go into a text before.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
That was very strange. Okay.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Interesting.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Disgust on every street corner.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Interesting. That's a new option.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
I mean, that's a roundabout way of saying yes.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
I can't tell by that
Goodbye,
voice acting
nurse.
whether or not
Call
she's
me if
lying
you
or not.
need assistance.
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me. Oh, I found Clay Cox. I was looking for him.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reid, still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
What's really interesting is the textures aren't loading on his face properly. Apparently I can't cure him.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
I mean... who just tells a doctor that? I mean, I guess he's the mobster leader we found out last episode from someone. I think the priest told us that Clay Cox was like the leader of the gang around here.
Only the strongest survive, then. Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reid. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
I mean, fair enough, I guess.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
I thought Nurse Crane was blonde. Maybe I'm crazy.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reid. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
I mean, he's not entirely wrong either, to be fair.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am.
No, you
I
don't.
live my life honestly, which is more than I can say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Cool. I mean, it's not surprising. Because I think it said his sister or his girlfriend was running it at the moment. The gang in his absence.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in the hospital?
Blackmail? That's not my style. Too risky. The black market, though. Now that's where the money is.
Interesting. How does one heal? Oh, E,
You're
medical
lucky
checkup.
to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
I suppose that's true.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
He may come in handy later. That was the main reason I healed him there. Because like, he's a prick, don't get me wrong, but when you have a leader of a gang like that, just killing them could easily make things a hell of a lot worse. Huh. Well, I guess she'd be down these stairs, right?
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
Textures aren't
I
loading
don't
properly
read
for some
well,
reason.
But thank you, I guess.
everything looks ridiculous because none of the textures are loading correctly. Fair enough, I guess that was a kind of cool way of doing a time skip. Interesting though. I wonder what she's up to. Something in Whitechapel, presumably?
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
I mean, this way, presumably. That was easy. Bunch of blood here.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Interesting.
Don't want to die here. I want to see the sky, feel the fresh air.
Ow. No longer locking on for some reason. There we go. Do I have an internal map? They never give you internal maps of any of these places, which is fine, I suppose, but kind of annoying nonetheless. Here we go to the right. Ooh!
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I hear someone in trouble, but... Couple of skull. Who is this man? He looks different to the others.
Don't want to die here. I want to see the sky, feel the fresh air.
Fair enough. I'm gonna loot this chest before I talk to you.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reid, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to
Oh,
help.
right, yeah, we did that last
Do
episode.
you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
He has a headache. Fair enough. So he was... This was a guy outside. He's like, I'm scared of the rats, so I can't go down there. Okay.
Are you sure you're all right, sir?
Yes, I'll be. As soon as I can see the sky again.
Interesting. Claustrophobic, maybe? I think that's done. I think I'm okay now. I can continue with the main story. So that's like the side area down here, obviously. Where did I come from? I came from this way, right? I'm pretty sure I came from down here.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
The Ban of the Dragon. Concerning the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, I would advise our members to be very wary about those so-called scholars. Yes, indeed, most of them are always affable and respectful whenever they approach us, but it would be quite unwise for a discreet circle like the Ascalon Club to foolishly speak about our goals, our members, or our traditions. I also would like to remind our fellow members that the Brotherhood itself is ancient enough to have some mysterious traditions. One of them, according to some informants, could be a ritual of the so-called Ban of the Dragon. It seems that in certain conditions, when the Brothers of St. Paul find a violent or bloodthirsty immortal, they call upon him this ban. Okay, fair enough. What is it exactly? I don't know. Does it really exist? I don't know for sure either. But what I've established as facts, it is that whenever a hostile or vindictive vampire has threatened London, it disappeared without a trace after the Brotherhood pronounced a ban upon him. The loyal Fergal Bancher himself has never been foolish enough to openly provoke the Brotherhood. This is a lesson we must all remember. Never be considered a dragon by the Brotherhood. From the Roar of Escalon by Lord Redgrave, founder. This would seem like it's written by a vampire. A lot of dead people here. Interesting. And there was this way as well. This is the way he went, I think. Can I not go through here? I guess I can't. No, I have to go the other way. Around here. And then down here. Okay, this takes me to the same place. I mean, this seems suspiciously like fight. What the fuck are you?
What sort of creature is this?
Exactly what I was thinking. I did little to nothing. My sword does more, actually. Invisibility didn't seem to affect him at all, so I guess they can smell? Oh. So he's supernatural, because he just teleported. I can bite him. Didn't do much. I've yet to be hit by him, and I really don't want to be. Because I feel like it would do a shit ton of damage. This game is actually quite easy if you're playing, if you're fighting one guy, it's really not an issue. It's when they put multiple guys against you that it becomes a problem. Having said that, I'm still like having to concentrate. Seems like a werewolf. Okay, it's... Ooh, he does like, whatchamacallit? Permanent damage. Whatever that was called. Aggravated damage. That's the word I'm looking for. Should get my blood back, and then I should be able to finish off with sword attacks. I think I can actually get 3 in pretty safely. Eh, maybe not, because my stamina will go down if I do 3. The third one being a stab is actually kind of bad.
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
Interesting. So he got ripped apart by whatever the fuck that thing was. Nurse Crane's voucher. If you are sick, if you have no money, whoever you are, wherever you're from, come see Dorothea to get help. No tricks, no charges, no questions. She's running a free clinic. No questions asked. Just find Darius Petruska's house and present this coupon. Deko sunteti bolnav sinu aveti bani orecini ati fisi de oriunde ati veni doratia va potoro ajuta no este pacala ela gratuit descre veniti la casa lue Darius Petruska ku axco coupon. I don't even know what that language is, I'll be honest. Let's see. Might be Italian? But I didn't know Italian had that many accents. There'll be a pop-up telling me exactly what that is. But clearly she's doing it for immigrants as well, presumably. Because there was talk earlier about, what was her name? The old cranky bitch in the hospital. She was talking about, oh, giving help to these immigrants. So presumably immigrants? And immigrants in 1918, I assume Italians maybe? Not entirely sure. But, once again, there'll be a pop-up on screen telling me what it is.
For a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. She's running a free clinic rather than going through... and, making people pay for healthcare. Okay, sorry about that, we're back. So as I was saying, she was running a free clinic for the people who can't pay, aka immigrants, and just in general people who are poorer, I suppose. Which is nice of her, but the downside being she's a nurse doing doctor's work, which, I mean, if you can't afford to pay, it's better than nothing, I suppose. That's probably the argument that we're gonna find. Oh, that's where I came out, that's fine. The argument that we're gonna have to find is whether or not, like, it's a weird ethical quandary, right? Because in reality, it's probably going to be much nicer to have some help rather than none. But yeah, I think I'm probably actually okay with it. It is a skull. Like, she's underqualified, essentially, is the point I'm making. She's underqualified for the work she's doing. But at the same time, if I had no money and I couldn't afford to go to the hospital, I'd prefer to have some rather than none. Now, I want to see if I can find these other guys so I can finish this quest off. I may have to wait till the next night. There's a possibility. Maybe not. Who I'm looking for is the guy that we just saved who had, like, claustrophobia. What I can check, actually, is if we go to... Here. This has been completed. Okay. I have 2 more to do, which I think I'm probably going to do next time. For this episode, I'm just gonna, find... There we go. Find way up here. Finish off this main quest. Actually, no, I'm not going to finish off this main quest, because I have to go to Whitechapel for this main quest. Which is all the way up here. So I think I'll actually call it for this time, and then next time I'm actually going to do this, because I think I'll be level enough, good enough to... I think my level will be high enough that I'll be good enough to be able to take this on. Which is, the story quest for Thelma Holcroft. And I'll see where this is, actually. Down here, by the docks. So I've actually done the docks area. This is where we started. So I think that might be a lower level area, so I might actually go back down to the docks and do some stuff there. So I'll do this, then come back up, do this, and if we have time, do this next episode. So hopefully 3 quests done next episode. But for now, can I just... No, you can only track 1 at a time. You can't track multiple. Because this one is where I think it is, right? Yeah, here. Okay. So I'll track this one, do this next time, then run up and do this one, and if we have time, finish the main quest by going off to Whitechapel and seeing what Nurse Crane is up to. I'm not actually sure. I'm pretty sure she's just running a free clinic, which I don't know why that would be a problem. Unless... Yeah, I don't know. It seems fine to me. And one thing else I wanted to try... this is the wrong place. I need to go the other way. Now that I've learnt the eavesdrop mechanic, I'm wondering if I can eavesdrop on that, Dr. Chandra, or he's not technically a doctor, but I suppose Mr. Chandra, who was talking to the dead corpses? Because I've just remembered that. And there was like a prompt that I have for like 10 seconds to like potentially do it, but I didn't have time. Okay, he's not there currently. I can see what he has to say as well.
Reid. Such a
pawnbroker. I expect you get all types of people here.
yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Fair enough. I don't know why I hadn't asked that before. Oh, I actually got a thing for him.
Have we met before?
I think I've asked
I
all
don't
these.
think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
That's a punch in the gut.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Religious, presumably.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
I guess that makes sense.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army,
Swansea, presumably.
I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get
Oh.
a job here.
It was Milton. That's intriguing.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
That makes sense.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
That also makes sense. So it's nothing to do with the fact it's full of vampires.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do
Interesting.
you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Interesting.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reid, I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
It's Chidana. Why did I think it was Chandra? Whatever. I think he is actually a fairly wise man.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir, but I rose to the challenge.
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reid. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reid. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
It's interesting. I wonder whether the average person... Well, I mean, he's not an average person. He's obviously clearly intelligent. But I wonder whether putting someone who doesn't have medical background into that kind of scenario, whether or not, like, sort of wartime triage is actually so unrefined, and it's more about keeping someone alive immediately rather than making it so that they're going to come to a full recovery. You're just trying to keep them alive till you can get them somewhere safer where they can do proper surgery. So maybe it's actually... the ability to keep someone alive probably isn't as difficult as doing like a proper surgery, if you know what I mean. It's interesting.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Although doing an actual study on that would probably be difficult. I kind of need... how much money do I have? 162. I mean, I need all of this stuff. How is it? 15 each? Yes. I do need a bunch of ferrous tartrate though. Fine, I'll buy ferrous tartrate. And sodium hydrochloride I need a bunch of as well. Actually, what I should do while I'm here...
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
is see if I have anything to sell
Such
too.
a pleasure to see you again.
Let's trade.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course.
He's a very
It's
interesting
just
character.
Trinkets and curios, really.
I wanted to
But
see whether
I'm
I can
sure
eavesdrop
they
him.
Can be useful.
I'll do a cut and I'll see whether or not I can actually manage to eavesdrop on him. Because that would be interesting. Oh, I'm not even sure I'm going to have to cut. How do I investigate though, without him seeing me? Oh, inside? That's where that's pointing me? Yes, it is. And go here and eavesdrop. Cool.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you.
That makes a lot of sense.
You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir. And I thank you for your generous donation.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Rakesh, you dick. I mean, again, it's not the most heinous of crimes. He does make a fairly good point.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. Such a pleasure to see you again.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
Whatever your motives, you're making money by stealing from the dead. Dr. Swansea should be informed.
No offense, sir, but Dr. Swansea is one of my customers. As I told you, I like to help people, and everybody needs help from time to time.
Interesting.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
I'll steal from you.
It's locked. I cannot enter.
I'm gonna go talk to Swansea. I don't know if it'll do anything, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I keep trying to keep these episodes fairly short, but they keep end up being like at least 40 minutes. Because things catch me in this game. And I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. Ooh, this is interesting.
Do you need something, Johnathan?
The matter of Lady Ashbury's blackmailer.
Oh, I know too much about this matter already. I'm confident in trusting the interests and reputation of both the hospital and Our Lady into your able hands.
Okay.
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
No.
I have met Lady Ashbury.
She's a fascinating woman, wouldn't you agree?
She told me you've been doing all in your power to cure her addiction for blood. Though unsuccessful, it's admirable.
Lady Ashbury is a cherished friend of mine. I would not betray her secrets without her consent. Come to the rescue of a damsel in distress. I ask nothing more.
I'll go through these questions.
Just a few questions.
Because I'm here. Apparently...
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
Apparently I can't talk to him about Chidanda. Or Chidara. Rakesh.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Oh, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
Fair enough.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
Interesting.
That
For what purpose, though?
explains your
Just for
nightly
scientific
wanderings
intrigue?
about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Apt analogy, I suppose.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must
Good to know.
take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
Didn't really answer my question.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
So this is actually crucial information that I've wanted to know for a while.
How do Skalds come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Interesting.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skald?
A Skald is easier to eliminate, Johnathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
Alright, with that, I'm actually going to finish. So thanks for watching. I shall see you next time, where we're going to take on a few side missions and hopefully finish the main story as well and see what Nurse Crane is up to. But that should be fun. Alright, thanks for watching. I shall see you next time. I'm just going to end in my office, because why not? Cool. See you next time.